eBay offers. I've been working on wording different things, trying to find ways to get buyers to accept offers more easily and also ways to get buyers to stop trying to lowball me on offers. I believe I found some wording. It's been working very well the last several months, and I wanted to share it with you. I believe that some of your offers that don't turn into sales might turn into sales if you take heed with some of this wording. So let me show it to you. Before we start, I want to show you the wording that I use every time I send an offer. eBay says I can send an offer on this collection of comic books. I usually do 23% off, and my wording is this: we wanted to give you and a few other buyers the chance to get this gem for much less. This offer helps us free up space, and the offer will last about 48 hours. I have shown this before on this channel, but for some reason, all of you don't watch all of my past videos. I never understand that. There's gold in these here hills. Why aren't you watching the rest of my videos? I realized when I first started, I wasn't that good at knowing how to do a YouTube video, and I talked too much and I repeated myself too much. I still sometimes do that, like I probably am right now. But I just started this channel like a year and a half ago. All of the material is still fresh and it works very well, and a lot of it's advanced, and you will not get it anywhere else. I've been selling on eBay for more than a quarter of a century. I know what I'm doing, trust me. Look behind me. This is my work. I don't have a fancy background. I do videos where I take pictures and where I list items for sale on eBay. eBay's my full-time job. I've been a heavy eBay seller more than 2 decades. I'm open to reproof, and if you have any questions, if you want to see me do something on a video, just leave a comment down below. Let me know. I read every comment. I respond to every comment. Just let me know if you want me to do something I haven't thought of, something different, or if you have a question about anything. It doesn't even have to relate to this video, which is all about offers, which I'm now getting back to. The reason my wording is very powerful here is because I'm showing 2 things. I'm showing FOMO, fear of missing out, because notice I say this offer will last for about 48 hours. Well, all offers last for about 36 to 48 hours. So it's not like I'm doing this special for this buyer, but I want the buyer to know this won't last forever. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. It's good to plant that in the mind of people who are receiving your offers. Now, also you will see, I say we wanted to give you and a few other buyers. So there's also a sense of urgency here because someone else is going to get this now. How many buyers are getting this? Whenever eBay says I can send offers on different items, how many people are receiving those? I don't know. It actually does show when you first see that screen. I don't even look at it. I don't know. I don't care how many people are getting it. If I can send an offer, I'm sending it the moment that I see I can do it because I want to strike while the iron is hot. Maybe someone just looked at my item 10 seconds ago and was there on the screen long enough for eBay to say, this person might need an offer. You should send this person. I want to send offers as fast as I can the moment I see one is available. But I always say this same wording. We wanted to give you and a few other buyers. So if there's someone else getting this offer too, well, I'm just letting you know, you may not be the only one getting this. I'm showing a sense of urgency and also FOMO that it won't be here forever. I don't like to allow counteroffers when I send an offer. I pretty much give them my bottom line offer whenever I send an offer. I don't turn on allow counteroffers. I do let it automate for 30 days. You can lower that to 7 if you just want people to get an offer like this who show an interest in this item for just 7 days. That's fine. You can adjust that. But what I want you to see, and the rest of this video, I'm going to show you 2 or 3 more on wording that is very powerful to get offers accomplished. So I send that and it's done. Now let's look at the other possibilities. I brought up my trusty notepad, and here's where I'm going to show you the text that I send in different offer situations. Here's an offer situation that most of you have had, and that is you just listed an item today, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, even yesterday, the day before, but you just recently listed an item, and all of a sudden someone wants to lowball you on an offer. Well, I actually take lower offers than I think most people take because I want to churn and burn my money. If you watch this channel when it comes to sourcing, you'll see I don't pay much for anything that I resell. I pretty much make dollars and $5 and $10 on pennies. That's my whole thing. That's my whole goal. I rarely will pay more than $1 or $2 for an item because I want lots of breathing room. And everyone wants that, but you can get it with eBay. You can get it when you go to sales and know how to find things. And when you watch what I tell you to do. But it's a little awkward when you just listed it and an hour later you see someone sends you an offer and you go, wow. I mean, you're just not ready to go down very far on that. Now, I suggest you do have to take a lower offer. There is a price you really should take an offer even an hour after you list it. Because if you say you accept offers, you really should accept offers. So anytime someone sends you an offer right after you've listed something and it's too low of an offer, always counter with what you will take for that item. Just the first time you counter, just counter with what you'll take for it. So if it's a $45 item and $39 is the lowest that you'll take, at least for a month, that's reasonable. You just listed it. $45 was the general good price range of comps, and you go, well, I'll take $39 for it, but I'm not ready to go much lower than that. Here is the wording I use. I say, hello. Or I'll look at their username and say, hello, Carrie 96446 or whatever, Hello, we just listed this beauty yesterday. I use all uppercase because you can't have italics here in this part of eBay. We just listed this beauty yesterday. So it may be several weeks before we can drop below 39. Now, they might have made an offer of 23, whatever it was. It's too low, because I just listed it. I would be silly to sell something an hour after I listed it for half of what I'm asking. Now, in 3 months, I would be wise to take half of what I'm asking, but by then I will have lowered it a little bit anyway. But I'm letting this buyer know, we just listed it. There's just no way we're going to take a low offer you've given us. So it may be several weeks before we can drop below 39. Still, we hope 39 is a super price for you now. Thanks for your interest. Sincerely, Janie and Greg, is a powerful message. And I suggest you copy this and you have it in your bag of tricks. Put it in a note file somewhere and save it so that you can copy it whenever you get the same situation. You have a fairly new listed item. You're not going to drop far. Someone gave you a lowball offer. This is how you counter that type of offer in that situation on an item that's newly listed. You must go down a little bit in the price. Otherwise, you're kind of lying to your buyer. If you won't take any offer for the first week or two, then don't allow offers for the first week or two. Turn off the offers, and then after a week it's been listed, you can then turn on make offers and allow offers. But until then, if you've got to allow offers, you really should always take something less than the asking price. This is powerful. I find this works a lot. This wording, I'm just giving a reason why. I'm being honest. This is why we can't go much lower. Now, they're going to look at the listing, and if they're savvy, if they've used eBay much before, they can look at when it was listed and they'll see if I'm telling the truth. Oh yeah, they did just list this yesterday. So this is a powerful wording that does work when you have a newly listed offer. Okay, what happens if you send this and the buyer doesn't believe you? Sometimes they don't, and the buyer counters this message. We said, we're not going to go lower for several weeks, and your buyer immediately and an hour later counters this message. Here's what I say. This also is powerful and often will turn into a sale. Remember, newly listed item. I explain to them the lowest we would take for several weeks. They counter that anyway. And I say, hello again, Carrie 99446, whatever their eBay name. It's now been 1 hour plus yesterday. This is a little bit snarky. It's now been 1 hour plus yesterday since we listed this beauty. So it, uppercase, still may be several weeks before we can drop below $39. Still, we hope that 39 is a super price for you now. Sincerely, Janie and Greg. Okay? So this is acknowledging, I know you want to counter. I was telling you the truth when I said I'm not going below 39 simply because it's a fairly newly listed item. This often turns into a sale. So they made a counter. They realize I'm pretty serious about what I said. And if they want the item, which they do want the item, they probably will go ahead and pay what I'm asking. Obviously, I'm not too far off from other prices, and probably a lot of prices are higher than mine, or they wouldn't have even messed with sending me an offer. So this is more wording that you should put into your bag of tricks. Keep it handy to copy and paste whenever you have this situation. There's a third situation related to this one, and that is, what happens if you have a newly listed item, someone sends you a lowball offer. You send that first message. Hello, we just listed this yesterday, so it'll be several weeks before we can go below 39. And then they counter again, and you go, hello again. Now it's been an hour plus yesterday. Kind of snarky, as I said, but that's okay. And they go ahead, and I send that message. I usually get a sell at that point, but if I don't, they might counter again, which is just crazy. But it happens. Here is the message that almost always will turn those people. They still haven't bought, but for some reason, they do want my item, or they'd move on to someone else. They're still trying to save too much money at this point, in my opinion. When they counter a third time a new item that I've explained twice that it will be several weeks before we can go lower, here is what I do. I decline their third counter offer, and I type this. Hello again, Carrie 99, whatever. It appears we are way too far apart. Remember, I did not counter this. I declined it and put this message with the declination. Is that a word? The declination of independence. It appears we are way too far apart. I've declined their offer. We hope you find what you want at a price that's great for you soon. Thanks for your interest, Janie and Greg. They will often send me an offer of what I want, which was the one before, which was one of the two messages I sent. It's now been 1 hour plus yesterday since we listed, and it'll still be several weeks before we can drop below 39. They will almost always, whenever I cancel the offer process with that person that keeps trying to counter a new item, and I've said, sorry, we really are telling you the truth. We're too far apart. We sure hope you find one soon at a price that you want and need. Well, they frequently will send me a $39 new offer because they'll take it and pay the price that I've been asking this whole time. And they never seem angry. And a lot of times I will even message them after the sale and go, we know that was back and forth. We're not trying to nickel and dime you. It's just that for items, we just don't know what they're exactly worth. And we sort of have to just be slow at taking a lower offer than what it looks like the market can bear. So I'll say something like that and say, but you still got a great price. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wrap it carefully and we're going to ship it right out to you. Take it to the post office so it leaves Tulsa tomorrow morning. And they've never been angry over that. They don't mind. They're just trying to get lower than I want to pay. That's reasonable. They're never upset with you. So whenever you decline and you send them this message, we're too far apart. Sorry, but we hope you find what you want soon. We literally are saying, we are done. We were done the first time we were telling you the truth. They often will come back and buy it. I think you should save this wording. This is other wording that's very powerful for you to use and will turn into sales. You'll see I'm telling you the truth too. Okay, there's one more offer scenario you need to know how to respond to, and that is, even if every one of your listings has a make offer button, and they should, everything you sell on eBay, other than possibly an auction, on the rare times that you do an auction, every listing you have on eBay should allow offers by sellers, because that's a powerful selling tool. And you don't have to go down much. And a lot of times the seller will offer a very reasonable offer. They just want $1 or $2 off what you're asking just to see what happens. And yeah, I'll do that. I bought it at so little it doesn't hurt me at all. Plus, I want to get the sale real fast because I want that $39 so I can churn and burn that money. And this item cost me $1. I sold it to you for $39. I'm now going to take that $39 and buy 39 $1 items and put those up for sale tomorrow. So everyone's happy, Pappy. But here's wording you need to use whenever someone sends you an eBay message and says, will you consider $31 for this item? Will you consider, or they'll say, how low will you go on this item? What would you really take for this item? I never answer those questions, and you should not answer those questions either. You should respond, but you should never answer those questions. Don't answer anything about an offer amount, anything like that. Remember, we are replying to their eBay message. They didn't send us an offer through the offer system. They sent us an eBay message saying something about what kind of offer will you take. No matter what you and the buyer agree to, it is not binding if you just set it in a message. It's not binding. You have to use eBay's make offer or accept offer, and they have to send you an offer for you to make it a valid offer. So any message they send you about an offer is just a waste of your time, and it's not binding. Here is the wording I always send. I've got it saved in a file. I actually have a shortcut that says offer button F8, and this is what happens in response to their message. How low will you really go on this? I say, hello, each of our listings has a make offer button just below the buy it now and add to cart buttons. That make an offer button is the only way we can. Does this just make you drunk the way I'm kind of going back and forth here with this blue highlight? I'm sorry. That make offer button is the only way we can officially accept, reject, or counter an eBay offer. If we accept an offer, we are forced into accepting that offer. If your buyer sends one and we accept it, your buyer made a contract that he or she will pay that. In an eBay message, that's not binding. We do not answer how low will we go, and neither should you. Correct the buyer every time you get any question about an offer. Each of our listings has a make offer button. I then say, feel free to use that button to make an offer on any item of ours that interests you. If the offer is too low, we will reject it. If your offer is almost close enough, we might reply with a counter offer. If it's at a price we're willing to take, we will accept your offer. We're just saying, I'm not committing to anything. You need to make me an offer for me to take you seriously. And even then, I counter, I'll deny, or I'll accept. But we can only honor offers sent through eBay's make offer button. Thanks for your interest. Sincerely, Janie and Greg. When I send this message as a result of an eBay message, one of two things happen. About half the time, I never hear from them. I'm not going to tell them the lowest offer I'll take, and why not? Why should you never tell your buyer on an eBay message that asks, what's the best price you can do on this Dymo printer? Why should you never, ever respond with a price? It's because you've already sent them the price that you want. The price it's listed at, that's your price. That literally, legally is your price. Will you take a lower offer? Maybe, probably. If you've said you can make offers, you'll probably take somewhat lower, but that's your price. It would be wrong of you to send a price and say, I was just kidding about that. I'll really take $13 for this printer. That would be wrong. You should honor your prices. Your prices should be reasonable. Most of your items hopefully will sell at full price because your prices are well within the range of recent sold comps, the same item in the same condition. Don't ever answer, what would you take types of question. Would you take 32? Don't ever answer that. Always send this exact wording. If you want to talk to me about offers, Mr. Possible Buyer, send me an offer and we will deal. I'm all in once you do that. Those sets of words I have been extremely successful at. Now, it took a few years to really hone some of those down and to see what worked and what didn't work. But those work very well, and they're the thing that you should do. You should just steal every word that I used, except probably don't say sincerely Janie and Greg, because that's probably not your names. But other than that, steal everything I said. It's for you. Use it as you will, and you're going to make some more money because of that. You're going to accept more offers. You're going to get more offers. You're going to get people accept more of your offers if you word it exactly the way I showed you. This is gold, Jerry. This is gold.